Right now there's increased fire danger in the Triad. You can see our area is in the orange section, meaning very high fire danger. Officials are asking people to take caution. But what does this heightened danger mean for you? Today we are joined by Matthew Grosclose, a fire and life safety education expert with the Greensboro Fire Department. All right, so what kind of precautions do people need to take when we're in that orange area?
Well, first off, you should take precaution to not burn outside. While we're not currently in a burn ban, there are limitations in the city of Greensboro itself that you actually aren't allowed to burn in something that's larger than 3 feet around, kind of a small burn barrel or device to use for a small campfire. But if you're burning outside and you're in a more rural area, you've got to watch that it can get out of control, especially under windy and dry conditions.
Okay, so what happens if it does get out of control? And I mean, not only for like this particular situation, but a lot of times people are doing like fireworks, they've got sparklers, July 4th, all that kind of stuff. What happens when it gets out of control? What should you do?
Well, one of the biggest things is don't try to be a hero right away. We see a lot of people that try to fight the fire on their own for 5, 10, 15 minutes. As the fire gets larger, call 911 right away, and then do not put yourself in harm's way. If you're trying to put a green line on, as we call it, a garden hose, just put a little bit of water maybe to protect your home, but do not get out there and where the wind is blowing the fire towards you.
Gotcha. Okay. So the Greensboro Fire Department partnering with the American Red Cross for an event this weekend. What is the event?
That's right. We're doing an event called Sound the Alarm this Saturday with the American Red Cross. We are focusing on 4 specific neighborhoods across the city. Homes that are closer together, a little bit older, that are going to take battery operated alarms. And we're going to have about 80 volunteers from the Red Cross. This is a big event.
Okay, so I see that there's something happening there on Church Street, right?
Yeah, we're going to have a kickoff there in the morning. We're going to have some local dignitaries come out to visit at about 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, train those volunteers, and then go out into the local neighborhoods around 10:30 with fire crews and volunteers.
Okay, and I think we have a list of those neighborhoods as well, so folks can see. You're going to be seeing fire crews and a group of volunteers in your area, and so they're basically going to be walking up and down the street.
That's correct. We're going to be in gray Greensboro Fire Department t-shirts. There's going to be American Red Cross volunteers. Some will have vests on, some will have red t-shirts. You'll see fire trucks, you'll see other various vehicles. If you see them and you need a smoke alarm, we're going to come knocking on your door in those neighborhoods. And if not, we still have opportunities for folks to get smoke alarms on other days.
Okay, that was my next question. So if they're not coming to your neighborhood, you're not in that neck of the woods, what should people do?
Well, the Greensboro Fire Department has a smoke alarm replacement program for homeowners. We send fire trucks to people's homes every day to help them with a replacement. They can call us at 336-373-2576. We'll send a fire truck to their home, answer their questions, and help them get a working smoke alarm.
Okay, and we're putting that number there at the bottom of your screen right now, so that way you can take a screenshot of it, you can write it down, whatever that needs to be. Because some people will say, well, I have one that works, but I don't have enough in my house, because how many smoke alarms do you need?
You should have at least one on every level of your home and everywhere where someone may sleep. So if someone could sleep in your basement, you should have an alarm down there. If you have a 2-story house, you should have them on the 2nd floor and at least one on the 1st floor. And ideally, if you have one in every bedroom.
Okay, some folks will say, you know, what should I do if the smoke alarm goes off, but I am not seeing any fire anywhere?
This happens quite a bit with both smoke and carbon monoxide alarms, where there's just a battery issue or the alarm has expired and the alarm will beep a little bit. People will call 911. It's not actually an emergency. You can find out by just taking a look at the back of the alarm, seeing the date that it was manufactured, and if you notice that your alarm was manufactured more than 10 years ago, chances are it's the alarm. If the other alarms in your home aren't going off, there's probably not an emergency.
Gotcha, but you do need to replace that alarm. Every smoke alarm expires in 10 years.
That's correct.
Okay, so you might need to take a look at what's going on. Hey, we did a test of all of these different fire products that are under about $25 or so. What happened was it was a very cold and windy day with Greensboro Fire. You see us standing there in the background. And what they did was they mimicked a stove fire, a cooking fire. And then we tried each one of these different products. And we tried everything from flour to cornstarch to those little spray cans.
And the lid would be the best answer out of any kind of option. These were alternative options. We wanted to test to see how people were put in harm's way. Our captain that was demonstrating things that day, he mentioned especially with the flour, he had to get really close to it, and if you have loose-fitting clothing or heaven forbid your skin that gets too close, you could get burned.
Okay, I want to see if we can bring up the video again if that's possible, because we had some of these like mini, I want to say spray extinguishers. So you know an extinguisher is pretty big. This one was like a little spray can. And the spray cans, I mean, they were just aerosol, kind of like a hairspray can.
They worked all right. Once again, the biggest thing is you have to get closer to the fire, especially as it runs out, and then you're putting yourself in danger by doing that.
Okay, and so those spray cans, you can find them like online and things of that nature. Several of them have the code from the fire association.
You want to make sure that they're listed and tested. So they've been tested in a lab to show that they are safe to use.
Okay, and do you see him there putting water on the grease fire?
Huge no-no.
Right. It actually like flares up everywhere, and that can catch your kitchen cabinets on fire. That was the little bit of the spray can there, which worked pretty good, but you said you need to be careful and stay back.
That's correct.
Okay, so we're going to have the information for you. This interview is going to be in the Two Wants to Know section of our website, so in case you can check those neighborhoods again, and that smoke detector, smoke alarm event is this Saturday. Let's check the forecast.